Most car footage looks sharp and clean, but sharp and clean doesn't automatically mean cinematic. The problem isn't your camera, it's how digital images handle light. Digital footage is mathematically perfect. Real images are not. That's where these 5 effects come in. They don't create a look, they correct perception. And they all exist in DaVinci Resolve. Let's get to it. First up is glow. Glow is not a beauty effect, and it's not a blur. Glow isolates bright luminous values, softens them, and blends them back into the image. It's only supposed to affect the highlights. If it's touching midtones, it's too strong. Professional colorists use glow to soften harsh specular highlights and restore smooth roll-off that digital sensors tend to lose. If you can clearly see the glow, you've already gone too far. Used correctly, it doesn't announce itself, it just makes highlights feel better. Next up is halation. Halation comes from film, not digital. On real film stock, bright light passes through the emulsion, reflects, and bleeds back into surrounding areas. That's why you see a subtle red or orange fringe around strong highlights in film images. DaVinci Resolve's halation tool recreates that behavior digitally. This is not a color effect, it's a light edge behavior. Colorists use halation to stop bright highlights from feeling cut out or overly sharp. The goal is edge softness, not color contamination. Next up are light rays. Light rays are one of the most misunderstood effects in DaVinci. They're not meant to be used everywhere, and they are not meant to be obvious. The light rays effect is designed to simulate volumetric light behavior, which is when light passes through particles in the air like dust, haze, smoke, or mist. In the real world, you only see light rays when there's something for the light to interact with. DaVinci recreates this by sampling bright light sources and extending them directionally through the image. This makes it a context-dependent effect. You should only use light rays very sparingly, and only use when the scene suggests atmospheric depth. If the environment doesn't support it, the effect immediately looks artificial. That's why light rays work best when they're tied to a clear light source, like the sun or a window. They should follow the direction of the light, not fight it. If light rays become the first thing that you notice, they're too strong. When used correctly, you don't think light rays, you think that light feels real. You can think of it more as an accent tool rather than just a cinematic requirement. And a lot of times, you don't need it. But when the conditions are right and it's applied subtly, it can add depth without breaking realism. Which effects in DaVinci Resolve have made the biggest difference in your footage so far? And what did you actually notice change once you started using them? Leave a comment below, I read every one, and it helps me decide what to break down next. Split tone. And this is one of my favorites. Split toning is not a style tool, it's a separation tool. It allows you to bias colors independently in shadows and highlights. Professionals use split tone to create depth and guide the viewer's eye, usually very subtly. A slight warmth in the highlights, a gentle coolness in the shadows. Not to stylize the image, but to prevent it from feeling flat. Again, if the color shift is obvious, it's already too much. Split tone should feel invisible, but if you turn it off, you miss it immediately. The final effect I want to talk about is film grain. In DaVinci Resolve, film grain is a perceptual texture tool. It breaks up smooth gradients, reduces banding, and helps compression behave more naturally. That's why professional colorists use grain even on modern clean images. Film grain should always be applied at the end of your node tree, after diffusion and halation, as the final layer of texture. Color grading gets you most of the way there. These 5 effects handle the last 5%. They don't add style, they add realism. Used carefully, they raise perceived production value without calling attention to themselves. And that's what cinematic actually means. If this video made your workflow a little bit easier, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you want more straightforward tips on shooting and editing better car content, go ahead and subscribe. I'm Andrew Cooper. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.